I think people are more focused on story and acting now more so than star power, and I think that's proven by
They
the.
thought Tenet was some people. The critics a lot of Tenet was good. They don't care about stories.
I
That
think Tenet was
shit
good. I think Tenet was good.
is, yo,
I don't think
you
it's like
got
his. I don't think it's like
yo.
his best film. I don't think it's like a masterpiece like how they were making it out to be. But I think it was
Oh,
a
they were
solid.
blowing that man. They were
I think it was
blowing
a
him.
solid film.
I think it is. I think he got the M Night syndrome.
Stop it.
I think he
Stop
got the
it.
M Night syndrome. He thought he
Stop
was
it.
bigger than what he was. Was like I could put out anything and it's gonna be loved. And then I watched it and I was like, this is
Mm.
shit. But like I don't know.
Stop
But
it. Don't do him like that.
oh yeah, that's a prime example too. Denzel's son is pretty much unknown, and it was a shitty movie, and nobody cared to go watch it. I understand that had COVID. If they didn't have COVID, probably would have did better. I understand
Yeah.
because of the name behind
That's
it.
why I was
But
like, all right, can we do a quick sidebar? I might
yeah,
can we do like 5-10 minutes to talk about this real quick?
well, Tenet.
Not Tenet. So I'm
Oh,
literally
I
like,
was
so
to
we're gonna
say,
stop. So we're gonna stop the WandaVision review and do this real
yeah,
quick, and then go back to WandaVision.
yeah,
How do you feel about the COVID? Well, during that time, so I remember Nolan was pissed that WB was going to release their whole slate for this year, like on the streaming platform,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
My thing is, bro, like, did you not see what the fuck happened to your movie?
Because he got the M Night syndrome. I'm telling you, he thinks he is better than what he is. I mean, he's a good
Stop it.
director, but
He's one
he
of the
got
best directors
arrogant.
who have ever lived, bro.
All right, but he got M Night downfall is that he got arrogant. Christopher Nolan got arrogant. He was like, I can do whatever the fuck I want, and people gonna come see it. No, M Night thought that shit. Then he released Lady in the Water. Then he released fucking what was after that? What was it? The Awakening or whatever the fuck it was with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, the happening.
Happening. Like I can't even fucking remember the name of it. Then he came out with some other bullshit. Then he got some new shit coming out called The Show or whatever. Like he 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 should be a prime example of what not to become once you do good in your first
See,
few
my
movies.
thing, yeah, but my thing is you can't compare M Night to Chris Nolan because Chris Nolan's worst film is a director's best film. To me, Nolan's worst film is The Dark Knight Rises. In my opinion, that's his worst film.
I'm
Dark
trying.
Knight
You
Rises.
ain't like that.
That shit was trash, bro. You
I
can
didn't.
literally you can literally tell that he half-ass did that shit, and then like literally you find out later on that he was literally writing the script as they were shooting. So it's like, yeah, like that's to me that's his worst film. I thought Tenet was going to be that. Like literally, so the reason why I didn't fuck with Tenet when I first saw, because I came out there like you saying it was trash, but
Yeah.
when I understood the science behind what they were trying to do, which the science still kind of doesn't make sense, but he basically took liberties with the science and shit like that. But when I understood the science, it made the story make sense. Because even when I first saw the movie, there was points of Tenet like where I was like getting emotional, like the part where fucking Robert Pattinson's character, like I understood that he was like at the end of the movie, and this is spoilers for Tenet. At the end of the movie, he was going basically back in time to die, basically, and I
Yo,
understood that was about to happen, and I was like, oh
un-
shit, and like I
understand.
felt that, but I didn't understand why I was feeling that because the science and the shit behind it was so confusing.
Hmm. But I was understand at that point, I was so annoyed by this man trying so hard to be artistic that I was like, I don't give a fuck. This movie needs to end. I was just like, yo, go back and find a cliff at that point. I was pissed. I was like, this is some bullshit. That whole last 20 minutes was a waste of time. He really I think he just had a lot of money left over in the budget. You know, like let's try and recreate Inception and it
See,
failed.
I don't think so because I think the technical aspects of the film are still dope. I think the way they did the time travel sequences and shit was dope. I didn't understand like and I still really don't understand the science behind it, but I understand the concept of basically like the whole movie is a time pincer, like how they explain it in the film and shit like that. But but my whole thing is like, so you had like a lot of, and I'm not trying to get too political here, but you had a lot of Hollywood people that were like bitching about COVID. Like if you didn't wear a mask out in public and shit like that, like you're a fucking Nazi and shit like that. But then like y'all niggas want all these people to go see your fucking movies. You want us to
Yeah.
pile into the theater to go see your which one is it? So that's what was confusing me. And I'm not saying Nolan was pushing that, but there was a lot of direct, like James Gunn was one of them. Fucking all the people who had movies coming out with WB that was going in theaters at one point of another were tweeting out for people to like wear a mask and stay home and socially distance and shit. But when it comes to your fucking shitty ass movie, you want us to go pile into a fucking movie theater to go see it. Which one is it? When it comes to your fucking money, are we supposed to go risk what you call a risk? Yeah, that's what it is. Money. So that's my thing. But if it's all about money, Nolan, your last film, like, what was his last film that came out?
Well, before Tenet?
Dunkirk. Well, I'm not going to include Dunkirk because Dunkirk was like kind of like a little side project film. Interstellar. That made like 600 million, something like that at the box office, something like that. Tenet made less than that. And it's like, there's no fucking, because Tenet was, you know how hyped up Tenet was. Yeah, so it's like, yeah. So your movie didn't make money because of COVID. So literally your little experiment, oh, people want to go to the movies, turned out to be untrue because people didn't go see your fucking movie, nigga. No.
That's the arrogance I was talking about, the M. Night shit, because I remember he was like, oh, they going to come see my shit. No.
They didn't.
And I went to go see it in the theaters. Fuck that movie. That was 2.5 hours of bullshit. I understand you liked it. I'm not gonna go in great details, but
we're gonna do a review. We're gonna do an in-depth review about it.
It was essentially 2 hours of nothing before you even know the exact plot. All right, you don't even know who the villain is until like a half of the movie's done. It's just stupid. I don't want to go into it because you don't understand how much that annoyed me. You don't understand. Oh, yo, it was people in that theater too, I would have been pissed because like only 5 people in that theater, but whatever.
Yeah. But then you got people like fucking like Patty Jenkins was coming out like shitting on WB and shit like that. It's like, no, look, I'm all for the creatives taking the power back from the studios and shit like that. But like I'm gonna I can't help but agree with the studio when it's like, look, if we're in the business of making money for our films, Chris Nolan, one of the biggest, most popular, beloved directors in Hollywood, his film just made significantly less than it would have if COVID was not here. People are not going to the theaters because of COVID. So we're going to cut now. WB was wrong by not cutting the people checks. The only people they cut checks for was Nolan and was Patty Jenkins, and we're the bigger name talents. The other people, because a lot of people's like contracts and shit, and I did my research on it before I came to my opinion, but a lot of people's contracts are also tied to like what happens in the back end with the theater. So basically when you take it out of the theater, they don't get that back end money unless you cut a deal. And at that point, you're dealing with projections. Now at that point, Warner Brothers is wrong because they was like, look, we're gonna cut this check with Patty Jenkins for Wonder Woman and Chris Nolan, and that's fucking it. We ain't giving these niggas shit. They're gonna get what they got making this film. So that's where they fucked up. They tried to skimp people out of their fucking money. They tried to fucking scam people out of their bread. Denis Villeneuve as well. We're probably not gonna get Dunkirk sequel, or not Dunkirk. Dune. I'm super excited for Dune.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but we're probably not going to get Dune sequels because unless I think he did get them to put his film solely just in theaters and shit like that. But again, it proves my point. These will be the same fuckheads that'll hop on Twitter and like shit on Gina Carano for like saying she's not going to wear a mask and shit. But you want all these fucking people to go pile into the movie theater to see your fucking shitty ass movie. That's where it's like with me, it's like, I understand. Look, leave it up to the people to make that decision, whether they want to stay home or not. I'm going to go to the theater. If I want to go see the movie, I'm going to go see it because I'm definitely not paying for your shitty streaming service. So I'm going to go just see it in theaters, or I'm going to pirate that shit straight up.
Yeah, that's what they were scared of with Tenet. I know that they were scared people were going to pirate it. I don't think it was that bad though. And honestly,
he's gonna pirate it anyway. Everybody, bro, they know how people watch these movies now. Majority, so it's like at this point, especially with COVID. And look, I'm not a person that's advocating for people, for the theaters to be closed. I'm not. What I'm saying is, it's kind of hypocritical that, these Hollywood, and look, you're talking about Hollywood. They're literally the most fucking megalomaniac people out there when it comes to people. So it's like, of course, they're going to be, fucking liars and hypocrites and shit like that. But it's like, you had a lot of like film media people that were just like kind of like covering it in like this dishonest way, in my opinion. And it was like, yo, like, look, I'm a person that's for the theaters. I'm for people being able to make the decision. But it's like, you shouldn't just force people to go to the theaters or just force them to not go to the theaters. Let them have the fucking choice and make the choice. And it was like
Right.
Nolan was just like, oh, I wanted just to be in theaters and shit like that. Well, nigga, your fucking movie didn't make money.
That's the arrogance, man. That's what I'm telling you.
I feel you. I feel you.
It's just the arrogance. He was like, my movie's worth you risking your life, bro. That's what he really what was
My
saying. Like,
movie's worth you risking your life for the art. It's like
yeah,
fucking nigga, fuck you, dog.
yeah, like
Fuck you.
some dumb shit.
And
What?
I guess your opinion varies on how you feel about COVID because a lot of the people I was watching they don't really think COVID is that big of a deal. I like me personally, I'm kind of in the middle when it comes to COVID. Like if you're young, you're fine. If you're old,
Yeah,
stay home,
yeah.
basically. So it's
I mean,
like,
at this
but
point,
give
what's gonna
people
happen is gonna happen.
exactly. But at that point, it was like give people the choice on what the fuck they want to do. However, don't sit here, Christopher Nolan, and pretend like oh, like everybody's going to see movie when they're fucking not. And especially in China, at that point they weren't going to theaters. They had their theaters still shut down. So it's
Yeah.
like, all right, bro, whatever. So
Uh,
but I just want to talk about that real quick because that was on my mind for a while now. Just when you said something about that just hit my mind and shit like that.
All I wanna
But
do is
all
count
right.
racks. I be chillin' in the cut just like an ex. Getting lifted with my niggas smoking wax. Stacking up, I'm tryna go shop out in France too. Tell these lame niggas get they cash up. Yeah, I'm speeding in a fast truck. Yes, foreign, I don't really need no backup. Do it by myself, yeah, I'm turned from this honey that I'm pouring.